Welcome back to Outside Views and Merry Christmas, everyone. And today we're taking a deep dive into a phenomenon that has completely reshaped the British winter landscape in just a few decades. And I gave you a hint yesterday about this. It's the explosion of German Christmas markets across the UK. And my personal view is that these markets are the ultimate proof of how much Britain actually loves being part of the rest of Europe, even if some people are too proud to admit it. We see these wooden chalets popping up in every city centre, and it's a beautiful seasonal irony that the traditional British high street now relies on a German economic and cultural model to survive the winter. The history of this invasion is fascinating because it didn't start with a big corporate takeover. It started with a single town and a spirit of friendship. In 1982, the city of Lincoln decided to do something different for their festive season after a visit to their twin town, Neustadt an der Weinstraße, in Germany. They brought back just 11 stalls to create the UK's first traditional German Christmas market, and it was a sensation. Lincoln basically dominated the Christmas coach tour industry for nearly 20 years because they were the only ones offering that specific slice of continental magic. But the real turning point, the moment the floodgates truly opened, was in 1997 in Birmingham. A man named Kurt Stroscher, who was the Frankfurt City Council's director of festivals, had a brilliant idea to market his home city to the British by bringing a taste of Frankfurt to Victoria Square. It was supposed to be a one-off event with just 10 stalls, but the Brummies absolutely loved it. By 2001, it became an annual fixture, and today, the Birmingham Frankfurt Christmas Market is the largest authentic German Christmas market in the world outside of Germany and Austria. And we're talking about over 5 million visitors a year, pre-pandemic though, and even in 2025, it remains a massive economic engine for the city. The economic impact is staggering. In a single season, the Birmingham market alone can generate over £350 million in total expenditure and support over 7,000 jobs. What's interesting is how this changed the British high street from a place of frantic, stressful shopping into a social destination. Before the German markets, the British high street at Christmas was a place you went to buy things and then leave as quickly as possible. The German model introduced the concept of staying power, the idea that you go to the city center to meet friends, drink Glühwein, and soak up the atmosphere for hours. The traditional shops and cafes nearby report a huge boost in footfall because the market turns the city center into a magnet for millions of people who wouldn't otherwise be there. It's a seasonal reminder of the German economic model, that combination of small-scale craftsmanship and high-volume social interaction. And yet, in my view, there is a certain Britishness that has crept into these markets that makes them slightly different from the ones you find in Cologne or Nuremberg or here in Münster. In Germany, these markets are often about peace and quiet reflection, but in the UK they have become a massive boozy party. In Birmingham, for example, the local council specifically requested beer and wine stalls, which are often fenced off in the UK due to strict licensing laws, whereas in Germany, the integration of alcohol is much more relaxed. And then there's the food. While the bratwurst and pretzels remain the stars, you'll often find local adjustments like Lincolnshire poacher cheese or local ales alongside the German imports. But the core remains German. The wooden huts, the hand-carved ornaments, and that specific sense of Gemütlichkeit that the British have completely fallen in love with. It's a profound contradiction that at a time when political borders are being tightened, the cultural and economic Germanification of the British Christmas is only accelerating. In 2007, there were only about 30 Christmas markets in the UK. By 2017, that number had surged to over 100, and today they are everywhere from Belfast to Brighton. And this tells me that the British public has a deep-seated hunger for the very European connection that their political leaders have tried to diminish. They want the shared culture, the shared flavors, and the shared spirit of a continental Christmas. The markets haven't just added stalls to the streets. They have added a new dimension to the British national identity, one that is more open and more integrated than any headline would suggest. So the outside view is that the German Christmas market is the most successful European reset Britain has ever seen. It saved the high street, it redefined the festive season, and it proves that no matter what the politicians say, the heart of Britain still beats in sync with the rest of the continent.